Meet and Discuss Board meeting of the Ambridge Area School District is held on Wednesday, November 13th, 2019. This meeting is being held to go over the agenda for the regular monthly board meeting that will be held on Wednesday, November 20th at 7 p.m. in the High School Media Center. We will skip the flag salute as we've already done that this evening. The meeting is being recorded for district purposes. It is or may be published in part or in its entirety on the district's website without the express written permission of the meeting participants. The opinions expressed by any board member of the public and by any member of the public do not necessarily reflect the view or opinions of the Ambridge Area School District Board of School Directors or the Ambridge Area School District, and are solely that of the speaker. The Ambridge Area School District Board of School Directors hereby expressly disclaims any and all responsibility or liability for any false, defamatory, or slanderous statements expressed by the speaker. May I have a roll call, please?
Yes. Mrs. Fisher?
Here.
Mrs. Kehoe?
Here.
Mr. Cowell?
Here.
Mrs. Locker?
Here.
Mrs. Milet?
Here.
Ms. Pedigo?
Here.
Mr. Sass?
Here.
Mr. Weir?
Here.
Mr. Angus?
Here.
9 present.
Thank you. Any correspondence this evening? Any recognitions this evening?
None this evening.
Okay. Any presentations?
None this evening.
Okay. Public comment regarding agenda items only. The meet and discuss meetings are open to the public. At this time, district residents may come forward to comment or ask questions on the agenda items only. Each person must state their first and last name and address prior to speaking. Each person will be allowed 3 minutes and can speak only once during this half-hour period. There will be no discussion during this time, but any board member or administrator desiring to address questions or concerns may do so at the conclusion of the committee reports. So is there any public comment on any of the agenda items for the meet and discuss this evening? Seeing no one, we'll move forward with the committee reports. And again, Mr. Weir, would you please take education and technology from Mrs. Pedigo?
Yes, sir. So I would suggest that numbers 1 through Ambridge Area School District Modified 2019-2020 School Calendar. It is recommended that the Ambridge Area School District 2019-2020 School Calendar be modified as follows. Friday, May 15th, 2-hour delay, all students. Student discipline. It is recommended to ratify discipline agreement 2019-2020-01 relevant to a middle school student effective October 15th, 2019. Number 3, recommended to ratify discipline agreement 2019-2020-02 relevant to a middle school student effective October 15th, 2019. Number 4, it is recommended to ratify a disciplinary agreement 2019-2020-3 relevant to a middle school student effective September 30th, 2019. Number 5, it is recommended to ratify discipline agreement 2019-2020-04 relevant to a middle school student effective October 18th, 2019. Number 6, it is recommended to ratify discipline agreement 2019-2020-05 relevant to a middle school student effective October 21st, 2019. Number 7, it's recommended to ratify a discipline agreement 2019-2020-06 relevant to a middle school student effective October 18th, 2019. Number 8, it is recommended to ratify discipline agreement 2019-2020-07 relevant to a middle school student effective October 25th, 2019. Last, number 9, it is recommended to ratify a discipline agreement 2019-2020-08 relevant to a high school student effective October 30th, 2019. Number 10, JROTC field trip. We've already agreed that.
This is a different date. It's a different trip.
It is recommended to approve Master Sergeant Thomas G. Short III, Marine Corps JROTC instructor, to be authorized to take the JROTC unit to Rhodes High School, Cleveland, Ohio, to compete among the area's JROTC drill team in a tri-state competition December 6th through December 7th, 2019. The purpose of this trip is to build teamwork, enhance camaraderie amongst the cadets, to develop leadership skills, and to increase unit cohesion. The aforementioned training is educational and is in compliance with the required curriculum. The JROTC unit will incur the expense related to this trip. All expenses will be obtained through fundraising. Parents or guardians will be required to sign permission and release forms. Last 2020 Data Summit. It is recommended that Lori Heim and Rebecca DeMuse be approved to attend 2020 Data Summit being held in Hershey, PA on March 15th through 18th, 2020. The purpose of the Data Summit is to ensure that administrators understand data details and will help data staff understand the significance of various data submissions. All expenses, that is, registration, fees, travel, lodging, meals, will be paid per our board policy 331 and policy 531, job-related expenses. Approximate cost per person is $2,230. And that completes the education and technology section.
Thank you, Mr. Weir.
I will make one correction. That's the total cost. That's not a per person cost.
That's for
So
both
the
of
typing error.
total.
That's a total cost for both.
Is there any discussion on items 1 through 11? Hearing none, we'll move forward with finance and budget. Mr. Sass, please.
Thank you. Items 1 through 5 are the traditional approval of salaries, budget transfers, and tax exoneration parcels. Item number 6 relates to a tax exoneration. It's unique to the board. The federal government permits a tax exemption certificate for disabled military veterans associated with local property taxes. That is item number 6. Item number 7 relates to compliance with IRS code associated with the 403B plan, which is the retirement plan of the district associated with hardship and eligibility amendments. Item 8 is a unique situation. The district is proposing to enter into an agreement to sell or assign its delinquent tax collections to a third party. That third party in lieu will advance the district approximately 80% of those cash owings. Basically, it's one of timing. Delinquent taxes are paid over, in some cases, a potentially very long period of time. The property is lien pending its ultimate sale in many cases. This allows the district to receive about 80% of those monies immediately for use. Essentially, we pay a 6% spread, which, if you want to think about it, is kind of like a 6% borrowing. It's very similar to a tax anticipation note, but it doesn't require immediate repayment every year. The district did speak with a number of different third-party organizations and has ultimately chosen NPIA, who is only an intermediary to people that will ultimately buy the tax lien, similar to an investment. Any questions on items 1 through 8? I'll also let you know that this is my last meeting. I will be on the West Coast for the voting meeting next week, so I appreciate the honor to serve. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Sass. Building and grounds, Mr. Kowal.
Nothing to report.
Athletics, Mrs. Fisher.
Nothing to report this evening.
Public relations is still open, but we have a point of information. Our fall newsletter is now available on our website. Please see this for numerous school updates and information. The letter was sent via Bridger Blast with a link. We'll move on to steering and rules with Mrs. Kehoe, please.
Item number 1 is the reorganization meeting, which is scheduled for Wednesday, December 4th at 7 p.m. Any discussion? Item number 2, December board meetings. The meet and discuss will be held on December 4th at 7 p.m. And the voting meeting will be held on December 11th at 7 p.m. in the High School Media Center. Is there any question on that? Item number 3, which says item number 9, which is incorrect, is policy 433, professional development. It is a third reading. It is to continue professional study and in-service training for administrative professional and support staff to enhance ability to complete responsibilities and maintain certification. Is there any questions? Item number 4 is policy 705, facilities and workplace study. Also a third reading. It is to maintain district facilities and operate in a condition that prioritizes the safety of students, staff, and visitors. Any questions? Item number 5, policy 709, building security. It is to recognize the need to maintain security of school facilities for reasons of safety, vandalism, and theft. Is there any questions? Item number 6 is policy 805, emergency preparedness and response, third reading. It is to recognize the district's responsibility for the safety of students, staff, visitors, and facilities. Any questions? Item number 7, policy 8051, relations with law enforcement agencies. Also a third reading, to protect students and staff, maintain a safe environment in schools, and safeguard district property. Are there any questions? Policy 805, number .3, school security personnel, third reading, to employ, contract for, and/or assign staff to coordinate the safety and security of district students, staff, visitors, and facilities. Are there any questions? Item number 9 will be policy 828.1, whistleblower. It is a first reading. It is recommended as a first reading to adopt school board policy 828.1, whistleblower, to maintain a workplace where good faith complaints of wrongdoing or waste can be raised free of any concerns about discrimination, retaliation, or harassment. Every employee has a responsibility to assist in implementing this policy. Is there any questions? That concludes my report.
Thank you. No discussion on any of those items? If not, we'll move on to legislative. Mrs. Kehoe.
I have nothing this evening.
Thank you. May I have the sunshine law, please?
Section 708 of the Sunshine Law permits agencies to hold executive sessions to discuss employment and personnel matters, labor relations, and arbitration matters, purchase or lease of real estate up to a time an option or agreement is obtained, litigation or potential litigation, legal matters subject to attorney-client privilege, and other agency business which, if discussed in public, would violate lawful privilege or would violate confidentiality laws. The Board of School Directors held an executive session to discuss employment and personnel matters, salary schedule and labor relations, attorney-client privilege, and litigation matters.
Okay. At this point, may I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Colwell. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mrs. Mylan, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We're adjourned.